But if I've known you for as long as I've known this nigga, you did something that made me think, even if I fuck with you, because I'm a great guy. Super. I'm a great fucking person.
You can be a piece of shit too. Not to me. But
yeah, because
I can't speak on
you can never say that about you. I ain't never been a piece of shit to you ever.
No,
not even one time.
I'm not suggesting that.
But you have seen me be a
there
piece of shit.
There are some people that they might not agree with you.
And I know. And you've seen that. You felt like, he's probably a little vicious towards you.
Yeah, of course.
But you never understood. Did you not understand where I was coming from every time? There was times where you said, Silla's out here and let me holler at him.
I mean, I'm not saying you're abnormal.
No. Don't sugarcoat.
You punching people like
sometimes nigga need to get punched. You know that more than anybody. Sometimes you gotta get punched. I ain't punched a nigga in years. Last time I punched a nigga, they punched me first. All right. Caresnone Be Dope podcast. I am your host, Chris Caresnone, and we have a special. Oh shit! This is a special episode. I've been waiting for this since literally before day one. Truth be told, I kind of wanted to do the podcast with this nigga. He was scary. Shout out to STEVE KARL, everybody. STEVE KARL, everybody.
Fake news.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Man, I know you hear me talking shit about getting you on.
Oh yeah. You've been talking shit since episode 1, I think.
yeah. So last night we spoke, and we trying to talk about what we should talk about. Should we do it? How freelance should it be? Yada yada yada. And I was like, fuck it. But it was a good point. And I think the first thing that we should talk about is why I give a fuck about you as much as I do, and how that started. Because truth be told, I hated you.
Yeah.
In the beginning, like I did not. I like I don't like this nigga. Do you remember why?
Now we rehash all this shit again.
No, and I'm willing to do my faults. I got faults.
I'm thinking you're gonna talk about the tires. Are you talking about the Camaro tires?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's get it out of the way.
All right. So here's what happened. We know another guy who's also in the circle. Shout out Mark Coleman.
Yep.
He was he was like my STEVE KARL, if so to speak. He's still my nigga, so don't get it twisted. But he was my STEVE KARL when I first moved to the burbs. Him and I were inseparable. But you and Mark Coleman were you and whoever you think is your nigga for years growing up. Like
we lived across the street from each other forever.
Growing up.
Yeah.
And so how did you guys stop being that? Was it me? I never. Is that because of me?
I don't know if it was because of you. It was more when I went to high school and then I got kicked out of high school. I think at that
great guy, everybody. Yeah. Great guy.
Piece of shit. But that's when I think we kind of grew apart just for a little bit. I mean, we still kicked it. Not regularly, I would say. Not nearly as much as we did growing up, but certainly we still would stay connected. But yeah, I think at that point you guys were like, whatever, doing burnouts at the Wendy's parking lot or whatever. And
hey,
who the fuck knows what I was doing?
Him and I kicked it hard. Him and I continuously have kicked it more than you and I ever have. Like, I literally lived in the nigga's crib.
Right.
Like with his family and shit. So don't get it twisted with this. Like, Mark was my boy. He's still my nigga. But y'all were that, okay? And then maybe you can help me with the specifics. But there was a moment where I ended up living in your house, and I think what we're talking about is before this moment.
I honestly don't remember this tire incident as well as you probably do because it was insignificant to me.
I mean, touche. Well, here's what happened with the tire incident. I needed some tires for my Camaro. And supposedly you had some F bodies, which I think it could be TA. It's like the same size, right? It was the same size for the most part. You might know better than I do.
I don't know, but I think they were similar. I thought they would work for you if I remember correctly.
Yes. And then you said, nah, I got you, Nick. I got you. So I'm like, bet. And I actually needed them, or I think it might have been rims. It actually might have been actual rims. I don't know. It's 25 years ago. But so I remember thinking, and I was told from your mouth, I got you. Hit me up on like Monday, and then so I hit you up on Monday, nothing. And then like every time I saw you, I'm probably fucking up the details, but it was like, hey, let me holler at you. After a certain amount of time, nigga, you ain't got it, or you ain't doing it. Or
I thought there was something to do with my now father-in-law And it was like somehow
yeah,
through
I remember
that I
that.
was gonna get. I don't remember again exactly.
But you didn't tell me at one point. Nah, nigga, you ain't getting.
No,
them.
I agree. I was kind of bullshitting. I
Right,
guess
right,
I
right.
remember. Now hang on. Now since we're on this type
no,
of shit.
no, listen.
All right, so you
Wait,
wanna-
we gotta finish
okay.
the story. You
All
gotta
right,
say it
yeah.
in chronological order.
Okay. All right.
No, we can get to we can get.
All right. You know where I'm going.
No,
All right.
no, all right, we can
Since
go there.
we're on that shit,
we,
let's do that.
We can go there. I don't give a fuck. So then we became close, and here's how I remember it happening. We used to have a guy we used to fuck with named Tim.
Yep.
And he was very close to you. As a matter of fact, he was really close to you at the time that I met you, like good.
He was living with me. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was living with you. I got into a fight with his brother,
Yep.
however long
Barnaby's,
ago.
right?
You know what it was at Barnaby's? Pissed me off, kind of a cocksucker, get her done ass nigga. That's how I felt. And him and I got in a fight, and I gave him a good one.
Right.
And then it is what it is. I'm a fucking ass, so I might have broke something. I don't know. Maybe I just hit him good. Doesn't matter. And then, I don't know, let's just say 5 months later, maybe
I think it was
longer.
shorter than that. Actually,
Even
I think
shorter?
it was like awkwardly close to that event.
Okay. So it was, let's just say a month after me fighting this nigga and punching him. Right around that time, I was living in my car.
Yep.
Right? And I was like, life was tough for your boy.
Sure.
I decided, like, listen, I'm about to sit here and feel sorry for myself. I could have went to my grandmother's crib in the city and been good. I chose because I was being rebellious or I don't even want to do my own thing. But the truth is, I lived in my car. It wasn't necessarily a necessity, but it was a choice that I made. Which low-key kind of makes me feel better about myself, low-key, because I chose to live in my car. Anyways, and I was at a party with Tim, and then I was like, yeah, and he got wind that I lived in my car. I don't know if I said something or he heard, da-da-da-da. And he goes, why don't you come stay with us for a couple nights? And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm in my motherfucking car. He goes, let me just hit up Steve. I'm like, oh, okay, Steve, boom, boom, boom. And then you must have gave it okay, like, yeah, fuck it, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. So he's like, yeah, Steve's cool with it. Because it was literally your crib. It was your shit for the most part.
I think we stayed in it together. I don't remember. Again,
No,
those
yeah,
scenarios,
but let's be honest. It was your shit.
it
Come
might
on,
have
nigga.
been.
No, we being honest. I'm about to put my shit out there. You was right? I feel like it was your shit. You the one, you made the ultimate decision in that situation.
I wish I remembered, but yeah, maybe. I mean, that's possible.
So anyways, so then you was like, bet. And then we actually got kind of close.
Yeah.
I think we got super close, like off top. It was always
You stayed for a hot minute, right?
a good little minute.
Yeah.
A good, I don't know.
Because did you go from, that was Brook Run, right?
That was Brook Run.
Then did we go to VIP from there?
We did do that, but what's happened is even before VIP, what I'm about to talk about, or maybe
No,
not.
right. But I'm saying, you stayed with us from that moment, and then did you ever leave and then come
I don't
back?
think that we ever left, and then we ended up getting our spot
Right.
at VIP with Tebow.
Yep.
Or our buddy Terry. Shout out Terry Winters.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother
Savage
story.
motherfucker.
You
That's a story
crazy
too.
motherfucker.
Hey, let me tell the people listening. Me and Steve, we got stories.
That's why I asked you where we're gonna start, because
I mean,
we could go sideways real quick, and we're still gonna be in 1999. You know?
okay. No, but we gotta finish the story. So like, why I fuck with you, and then how So I didn't like this nigga, and he helped me about these tires. I never got the tires, by the way, in case anyone was
Still
wondering.
not gonna get the tires.
I can get the tires. And then we got really close, like super close, and then we lived with each other. And then he ended up moving. There's another fucking story of how you move, and we'll talk about that another time. He moved to Normal or Bloomington, or is it Normal Bloomington?
They call it
Same shit.
Bloomington Normal, but it was technically Normal, Illinois.
So he moved to Normal, Illinois, and I'm obviously still with the nigga, but I'm up here in fucking Schaumburg, Wheeling, wherever the fuck I was at. So I would come down there. It even got to the point where like I wanted to live down there, and mind you, I'm a bum at the time. Still a bum now, but I was bum back then. And I was like, man, Steve, can I live with a nigga? I'm out here lazy with it, like on some real shit, And it was like I enjoyed you, but two, it's like, man, I just need a place to go at this point. And you was like, ask my mom. We were all young. What was it, 19? Like, we were hella young.
Yeah, I just got my first house, but it was like a scenario with my mom.
Yeah, and I
she was
understood
helping
it.
out, and it was like,
you said, hey, nigga, ask my mom's, because she ain't about that life. So I'm like,
that was part of my deal for buying this house, was that I was gonna
go through her and
make some changes and kind of get away from the bullshit
now,
out here.
Now, was I considered part of the bullshit?
In her mind, it was more just like she didn't have it specifically broken down as to what was or was not. It was just shit wasn't the way she wanted it out here.
And she wanted just a whole clean
Yeah,
slate.
because I was a piece of shit.
Yeah, you weren't a great guy. You love me, but you weren't a great guy.
Yeah.
I always say that you have this way of thinking, and that's why I focus you so heavy down to help. We're gonna circle back, but you give me a perspective on life that I can't even see from this angle. And maybe sometimes, hopefully on this side, you'll be able to chime in on that. But I'm like, I didn't even see that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I see a lot of shit. I'm like, I didn't even see that. So to finish the story, we got super close, and then here's the part that Steve probably wants to tell.
Okay, so yeah. So he's giving me shit for this Camaro tire incident, but
For years, too.
yeah. At this point, he's visiting out in Normal quite regularly, and
You even lived there for a little bit.
yeah, I think you did, and you
Like
might
a
have been
month or
living there
two?
at the time. To be honest, I'm not sure, but this whole time since I've known Chris, he's telling me he didn't like the fact that I was older than him. Right? Clearly, it was a problem that he had accepting the fact that I was his elder. You know, and he
I don't think. Okay,
you don't want to fucking respect your elders.
To be honest, to be brutally honest, it was never a thing personally to you. I have been insecurely lying for years before that.
Okay, so but
To the point I lied so vicious that I almost believed it. Like, no, but go ahead.
so anyway, he's been telling me for all this time. He would correct me because he was 2 years behind me in high school. So I always felt, and I would tell him that I felt like I was older than him, because kind of when you're younger, in my opinion, I more base our age on your school years versus your actual birth year. You know, like
Especially
I don't care
back then. I don't think you could do that now. As an older
No, now
person.
it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
But at that time, when you're fresh 1 or 2 years out of high school, when
Yeah,
did you
nigga, I'm
graduate?
older than you, motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I graduated 2 years ahead of you. I'm 2 years older than you. That's just how it worked out.
And I fought
And
that
he
shit.
constantly was like, "You are not older than me."
Like, nigga, no,
I'm
you're
like,
not.
I graduated 2 years older than you. I don't know what to tell you. I feel older than you. I'm fucking older than you. I don't know what to tell you. He's like, "No, man, you're not older than me."
For years.
years. So finally,
Wait, how many years? Like, honestly, like 10?
as long as I knew you, you was fucking lying to me about your age.
Okay.
So now, fast forward to Bloomington Normal. Fast forward to what? 2004,
4, 5, 6, something like that. Yeah.
2004. I think it was 2003 or 2004.
Right.
And guess what? It's my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm in August. He's in February. He's only a couple months behind. So he's out there with me. You know, whatever. I'm out doing my thing, going to the bars, whatever. But then February 2nd hits. Oh, shit. We're about to hit the club. Let's go.
And I didn't have my ID.
So he takes us all the way to his fucking birthday. We get to February 2nd. I'm like, let's go. He's like, man, you see what had happened was
No. You said I was like, I told you I lied and said I gotta get my ID. Like I don't have an ID.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying, but this was on your birthday. I'm like, all right, what are we gonna do? And you're like, well, I gotta see, they fucked up. You're like, first he's like, I got only a state ID. I'm like, that's fine. We can go get that taken care of.
Yeah,
He's
we're
like,
good.
no, actually, they fucked up. You're not gonna believe this. They fucked up. They put the wrong age on there. I'm like, well, we can get that worked out. We just take your social security card. We can get this shit worked out. He's like, man, I gotta tell you something.
No, that's not what happened.
No?
No.
That's what it
that's not
felt
what
like to
happened.
me. What happened then?
So I'm like, nah, man, like my shit's fucked up. We can't do it. Then I'll never forget this. You said, Silla, are you not 21, nigga? And I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm not 21. You're like, I told you for 10 years. You brought it up so vicious for you, like that 10 years you lied. Oh, he didn't let me live it down, you guys.
Yeah, because you don't let me live down the fucking Camaro tires that I told you I was going to try and get for you, and then something happened where I couldn't do it, and you still talk about it.
Yeah, I still talk about it.
So,
but that's the
you
true
tell
story.
me, people, what's worse? Somebody saying I'm going to try and get you these whatever Camaro tires, Firebird tires, whatever the fucking tires they were. I'm going to try and get this to you.
I needed tires, dude.
Okay. Or a good friend, a man that lives with you, lying to you about his fucking age.
That's fake news. The way you spun it.
I'm telling you. You tell me what's more fucked up. So I think that we should make a ruling right here and now.
Oh, we're
You're
gonna
not
make it official.
allowed to say that shit no more. Only I can talk about that.
So you're saying going forward
Yeah.
until we die,
Yeah.
I can never be the first to bring it up?
I don't think you can bring it up.
Even if I bring it up in fun?
Nah.
No.
that's all.
You know what? Anybody listen to this, hit me up personally, DM, and tell me if I can't even bring it up in fun. That's
No.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you gotta let that go.
So
Anyway.
we dealt with that, and it was a great weekend. I fucked the whole weekend up.
Of course you did. We had plans to go, like a big grand plans for my buddy's 21st birthday, and now we can't because he's 19.
No, I was 20.
I don't even think is that true.
No, yeah, it's
You
just
only
like,
lied about
I
one
was
year?
a year off. Yeah. No, I promise you, I was a year. Like, come on, I can't. Nobody lies for 2 years. Man. Nobody lies for 2 years. So that's how we got so close. And I'm about to put this out there a little bit, but Caresnone. And I've been drinking a little bit. Fuck it. Here's how. So I was living with the nigga. He was helping me. We were cool, but it wasn't like obviously how we are today. One, longevity. We talk about this all the time. Longevity. You just know a nigga, and not to say that shit can't go away after 40 years. Shit, life happens. But I'm telling you, I just have vibed with this cat since the day that I met him.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I think the one argument, the one real argument we ever got in was on my birthday, maybe 2 ago, and that was me being. And I admit that. Okay, my drinking was I feel like it was my fault. Like I'm very open. I think that.
for sure.
And I feel that's the only argument, real argument we've ever been in, and we weren't even really in an argument. We got over it.
Yeah, no.
I think maybe the Bahama eyes, which we talked about, but I don't know if that was necessarily an argument to me. That was like a clearly silly. I don't feel like
You were dealing with something, and
it wasn't like fuck you. That was never my vibe.
I mean, you might have said something like along those lines, but you didn't.
You
mean
never
it.
felt that way.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
there's
feel
no
it.
way.
No.
So you know what? We should talk about Bahama Eyes too, because you're the one who brought it up. So how did that whole conversation get brought up? When did the term Bahama Eyes and how did that even start?
Ooh, I mean, I would say that was a conversation between Mark and myself because we went to the Bahamas for a DraftKings event and.
Which you placed in pretty well. You didn't win that one. You placed.
No, I got like fourth or something.
You got
on that
fucked. Who was it?
David Johnson.
David.
You
hate that nigga.
fucking die, David Johnson. Fuck you.
Fuck
That
him.
man. Never, we ain't gonna go down that road. That's a whole nother story. But fuck David Johnson. That's all I can tell you.
he really hates that nigga.
Yeah, but so we went. It was Mark, me, Chris, my wife, my son went, my mother went. We kind of went out. I'm trying to think. Did anybody else go? Or is that?
I feel like that was it.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was it.
Courtney brought a friend. That's right. So
Hey, yes, she did. Yes, she did. Hey, if she listened in, hey, you look cute. I started to come at you a little bit. I decided not to, you know.
yeah. So that was the crew that went out there, and we had some partying. The events were kind of hosted by the DraftKings, so we had a bunch of open bar situations in Atlantis. So it was kind of,
which is crazy too, because it was like super ballers, but the people who
sucked.
Yeah, just terrible people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you had a different crowd, it might have been the most epic shit of all time.
Oh, it could have been with the right people. Like if you brought your whole crew, your entire squad to come out and party in that atmosphere, it'd be nuts.
Like if you had 100 people that you fucked with vicious, that would have been the best situation of all time.
Right, but instead it was like 50 like
Fucking
accountants. Like
Yeah.
it was awful. Like
right.
that just
And all the debate. Okay, so you weren't single. I'm single. And then so there was a couple, little baddies, but they all were with the fucking loser because it was like,
yeah, it wasn't one of those.
I mean,
types
great
of
guys,
environments.
great guys.
Yeah, great guys, but
Okay.
so we're out there for this event, and there's the drinks they're flowing, and Atlantis is just an awesome place. They set up, the environment was killer.
So dope. Remember that one little room with that little smell? That smell of
like
money.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And we, and they make their drinks out there a little bit different too, to be honest with you, because normally they cost like $60, pop at the pool for like a little Miami Vice.
Yeah.
But see, they pour their Miami Vices a little different out in the Bahamas or Atlantis. They fix up the pina colada and the strawberry daiquiri, and they put in there just right, and they mix it in there with the rum.
I think it's rum. Yeah.
And then they take the bottle and they just dump like 6 shots
Big,
right on top.
big, right on top.
There's like a good
2 shots. It feels like
at least sitting on the top. So you first drink that, and then you get into the normal drink. So
right.
those are flowing all day at the pool, and then we go down to the little luau and get after that.
That
Needless
luau
to
was
say,
fire. I would just get too faded.
Chris was indulging. He was getting at it. Like
I
he
mean,
was
why
going
would
down.
you not?
No, I agree. But
I mean, free drinks. What you want? You want on the rocks, whatever you want. I'm like, shit.
But you got liquored up. And
I was sauced.
oh,
I was super
you were
sauced.
real sauced. And then I think you had some shit that you were battling going into the trip.
Kind of with Coleman.
Yeah.
And Coleman, I know you don't listen to this. 'Cause I know you fuck with me. And again, I was fucking with some shit, but I let it bottleneck. You know what I'm saying? It bottlenecked.
Yeah.
And then it exploded when
At the wrong, in my opinion, the wrong time. But the Bahama eyes came while we talked about that was because we could look into your eyes from that point forward and identify this. It's like glassy and red and
the red,
open.
the red,
yeah, and they're like wide open, like they wide the fuck.
How
open.
many times have you seen Bahama eyes since Bahamas? Can you count it on more than 3 fingers?
Yeah, I could see.
Have I always acted crazy? When
Well,
you saw
sometimes
Bahama?
I don't even see it in person. I can see it on like a snap or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know when you got them, but it hasn't been as much recently. I will say that, but I also don't have Snapchat. I don't know. Do you fuck with Snapchat anymore?
Snapchat's the worst of all. Oh no.
Do you even
Well, first
open
of all, Facebook's the worst social media.
Trash. Yeah.
Is there any social media worse?
No. I just started fucking with it not that long ago. I held out for like ever, and it's
like
awful.
pieces. You can only do it in like 3-minute intervals. Is it intervals? Is that the word? Intervals.
Yeah.
Intervals. Like more than 3 minutes. Once you start reading, you're like, all right, okay, I gotta get out that shit. Facebook is the worst, and you called it. Now,
I told you.
And we argued about this point for a while. Not an argument, but we debated. Well, Facebook, and we'll circle back around. But is Facebook? Will it be trash one day? Was that the ultimate argument?
Essentially, that it's going to get phased out by the young cats because all these old fucks are on it, and they don't want nothing to do with it. There's nothing,
and they're proving that right now by what's
TikTok.
the right? And what do they not do? It's bitch. Very,
no bitching.
very little bitching.
But it's just like anything else over time. Is if the old people fuck with it, the young people don't. It's like it's the cycle of life, you know.
Although I'll say this though, one thing so maybe Facebook itself will turn into something new, but the company that owns Facebook could own some new.
Well, they
shit.
already own Instagram,
right? That's what I'm saying. So I think that the ultimate core of whatever the big business is can probably stay alive.
But that was not the spirit of what we were talking about.
No, it was Facebook,
right?
And I can obviously it's definitely 25 and up if you fuck with that.
Facebook?
Like for the most part, 25 and up.
I have no idea what the
ain't nobody 25 and down fuck with Facebook. You're almost what do they call us, boomers?
Yeah, okay, boomer. Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
It's like you know how they call like the old white bitch Karen now? Yeah.
Listen here, Karen.
Take it easy, Karen. Yeah, so boomer is just I think it's baby boomer. And so they just say, okay, boomer, like you're just old, you don't understand, you dumb fuck. Yeah. I think it's funny. I think it's cool. I actually use it. Like throw it back at them. Like I call the young people boomers.
Haven't you wait, have you ever been called? You've been called the
boomer
one. How did it feel?
Yeah, one of Corny's friends.
Did you know what it meant when he said it?
Yeah, I knew what it meant. Punch his fucking face.
Now let me ask you this. So this half the people who listen to this are younger, then half the people are old. A couple of you niggas is old. Some of you niggas is like 58. That's old. Yeah, you might as well put your foot all in the grave. No. So circle back.
You lost your train of thought. What are you talking about?
We were talking about
we're talking about Facebook, TikTok, old people, boomers, okay, boomer.
Yep. I fucked up. See, that's how hard it is.
All right.
Especially when you've been drinking. No, what was the point? We were talking about Facebook, TikTok, and then fuck it. I don't even care. Caresnone.
Yeah,
we'll talk about the next point. That's my bad. I fucked up.
I just going back to the Bahamas. So we're in the Bahamas.
Look at you.
Yeah, and you
Look at you.
And he's glossy eyed and he's feeling himself. And again, he's mad at Mark about some shit that happened in the past. That's your choice whether how far you want to go into that.
The only reason I'll go far into enough into it. But I don't want to put his shit out there, vicious. But let's just say this: I personally believe that he made what I think that he would agree to is a pussy move. I think we've had conversations that he would agree that he is a different person that he is today than he is then. Even if we agree with that or not, I think he would agree with that right now.
I think something you can give to the people is that we all have those friends that they get into a relationship and they start making questionable calls that would fit into the the bros before hoes category type of thing.
Yeah,
like that. It's one of those kind of situations.
It was one of those things
where maybe it could be argued that there were some choices made, and he acknowledges it now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm willing to say.
There was that he made some choices and he catered to the needs of someone over in a situation that he shouldn't have. So that's
now. Let me say this: he has even before Bahamas, we have talked about this, him and I, multiple times, And he was like, my bad, I fucked up multiple times before Bahamas.
And that was what caused the real drama out there was that, I had separate conversations with him, but it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? We've talked about this. I've said I'm sorry.
Well, what can you do?
Like, there's nothing more I could do
100%.
to make this right with you. And you, again, you were burned so deep that it couldn't.
And listen, we had moments where we were cool, but when the liquor came out, now I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that, and we'll talk about what the specific argument was, but part of me was very honest, and I still believe it to a degree that my goal, majority of what I was trying to do on that trip was I was there for you. I believe that. And I believe that every vacation we've ever had, I kind of coming because you've been the reason to get me there, for the most part. So, as much as I know I was wrong, I still, when there was a moment, me not thinking, when you said, so here's what happened. We went to this trip, and it was a trip that he was supposed to do a DraftKings, or he was doing a DraftKings. He was doing like this.
A live event.
A live event for DraftKings. Was it DraftKings?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was DraftKings. And so we're there, half of it was, they hooked it up, half of it or whatever, and then you had to pay for the other half. Whatever it was, we all came, and it was turned up. And ultimately, the trip was, Steve's in this live event, he needs to win, and then we're good. That's kind of what the ultimate trip was for me, at least where I'm thinking at the moment. So my thing is, at the end of the day, I'm riding with Steve on this. That was my ultimate thought. So that night, when we went to that fake-ass club, it was actually like a nice club, but the fact that it was the Bahamas, it was like, I think like the group is a good group.
Once again, it was the half the hotel was filled with
Losers
losers, and then also it's just kind of a it's kind of a datey atmosphere in Atlanta,
relationship or families.
It's not a very singles friendly place
at all.
So naturally, the club was dull and shitty, and I personally wasn't feeling. This is a Saturday night. We had the tournament on Sunday. And we walked in, and I was like, instantly, I'm out. I'm not feeling it.
So, and mind you, so not to put Mark shit out there, but he needed this trip.
He was going through some shit. Yeah.
So he needed this trip.
Yeah, bad.
And this is the part that I wasn't thinking about, where you might have been thinking about in the moment. I can think about it now, but in the moment, I wasn't even remotely thinking about it. I'm thinking
you were mad at him still too.
Yeah. So So the reason I'm bringing this whole thing up is I was trying to. So I think that I did have some shit bottled in deep. But a lot of what that argument was is, no, like if Steve says let's go, let's ride. I want to get up early. I'm gonna be, you know me.
Right, but I don't necessarily think it'd be the same way right now today with your current relationship with Mark. I think that it would be different. You would have been much more receptive to listening to what.
I agree with that.
100%.
But the point I'm making is I don't think it was purely like I hate Mark at the time. Because up until that moment, it was literally a perfect vacation.
No, but you were almost taking it an opportunity to say to Mark, fuck you. He's always one of your bigger arguments was he's never helped me like this.
Right.
So it was
anyway. But I really don't think in the moment. I think that's where it went. I think what you just said. So it went to that, but I don't know if that's what triggered that in the moment. And I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I do think it went there. So obviously it was bottled in deep, and it came out on some ridiculous shit, right? And we'll talk about that too, because you and I always argue if a nigga been drinking, is he being honest or not? Because I'm telling you right now,
because we got to circle back and cover the Bahamas, because we're not here to talk about your Mark's grudge. We're talking.
No, so talk about Bahamas.
Yeah,
no, but I think that's still part of what we're talking about.
It is
because I was super. Like the reason why Bahama Highs came out in that moment is because I had shit. That's why we're talking about that.
But yeah, in the moment I was saying, hey, I need to go crash and get ready for this event. Mark really needs this trip. Why don't you please go out with him? You guys hit the club. Still loves to go out.
Wait, you think it was that? So you was like, hey, bro, I don't think it was that clean.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
It was not that clean.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't just, hey, Stilla, hey, I'm about to go to sleep real quick, man. I need you to kick it with Mark. I don't know if that was what I felt in the beginning.
It's because you had Bahamas. You weren't thinking clearly. That's exactly what the Mark. Holler at your boy. This is a fact. I was just saying he needs it. Kick it with him. I'm gonna go up. We're good.
But why was I so like?
Because you were saying no. We're here for you. Fuck that. I'm going upstairs. And I'm like, and it was pissing me off because I'm like, I don't want to be the reason why.
Because you also wanted Mark to get away from his shit. So
I
knew I'd be the right.
It was the perfect scenario. It's like Mark really wants this. I know deep down you like doing this shit. I don't need you to come up to the room when I'm going to chill for an event that's tomorrow. So the perfect storm for everybody is You two go do your thing, do what you like to do. And
So
let me go
clearly
do
I
this.
had some other shit.
So it was
pop
almost
up.
like you were fucking with me by fucking with him and not having him having a good time.
Right.
It was making me feel some kind
I know
of way.
it was like a shitty
yeah,
situation.
it was so it was like.
But you do know, like
then-
my intent to you was
Of course,
good.
but the whole time I'm telling
know,
you,
I
you're
know.
actually fucking with me
I
right
know,
now.
and I just couldn't see that in that moment.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. I'm like, even if what you thought was true, how do you not recognize the fact that I'm riding with you? That was what my thought was. How do you not see that? Like, and this, as I've gotten older, you can still fuck with a nigga. And let's say you fuck up and you say something stupid, then there's a fight break out. Obviously, even if you fucked up, I'm fighting.
Yeah.
Right?
You've proven that many times.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Even if you were making a decision that you shouldn't have been making, and then we could talk about it in after effects that, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that, we still fighting. We going to jail. We going to do what it is. I think
That's a quality that you certainly possess on many levels. Yeah, you don't need to rationalize why something's some kind of way. If you feel a loyalty to something, it's going down that way. Like, it doesn't
they
matter.
say that's what they. So I know you're like a little spiritual to a degree. Do you believe in what do you call it, astronomy? Do you believe in it, like Aquarius, like our signs and shit? Do you fuck with any of that?
Not really, no.
You ever read that shit though?
I mean,
Have you ever like read some shit
I
that's
also
like
read fortune cookies, and they always sound like fucking dead nuts. Except for that time Silla's in Las Vegas.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
he opens up. We're at the Palms at the time. Yeah, the food court. Goes to Panda, cracks a fortune cookie. There's no fucking note in there.
No note.
How you gonna be in Las Vegas, the place where you always get your cookies, something optimistic that can get you out there right? Because Lord knows the
I didn't
tables are
even
taking
think
all your
about
money.
that.
You know,
100%.
Nah, they're like, fuck you. You'll get nothing.
and let's be honest. Okay, I guess it's perspective. I have not necessarily been. I know most people haven't, but I've not necessarily been a winner in Vegas.
No, you actually set the world record, in my opinion, for going flat bust the fastest.
Oh, I wanted to talk about
It
that.
might have happened at the airport. I don't remember. Like, this motherfucker.
No,
You were
I've never
on
went
zero.
broke at the airport.
You were at zero on day one. That's a fact.
Yes, yeah, but it wasn't the airport. That's you can't put me out like that. The airport. We ain't even landed yet. I lost my money on the plane.
Yeah.
That's like that. Here's what happened. Now, so you know what? No, I'm glad you said that. So this was maybe our first time in Vegas. I think it was our first time in Vegas, and you always had. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. You always had a little bit.
First time was with my guys from Bloomington.
So our
Normal.
first time without those guys.
Okay.
So I feel like it might have been that time too. But let's tell me if you remember this story. So we go to Vegas, and you've always had more money than me. You always were. How about that? I don't even say that so like that. You always been able to afford shit better than I could. So we go to Vegas. And then we go to a strip club. Do you remember this? Okay, you know where I'm going. Okay, so we go to the strip club first night.
That's when you introduced me to bottle service. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's the story I'm about to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you weren't aware of like this. Again, at the moment we think it's trash, but in that moment, like, oh, it was some new shit. And I had saw it before you had saw it.
Sure.
And then so we go to this club, and then like it was like a strip club, or it was a club, and then it closed down into a strip club.
Something like that. It
and then
morphed at some point.
And then a lady goes, like the server goes, all right, we're about to turn the club into a strip club. You trying to get a bottle. And everyone else is like, eh. And we were off the strip, so it wasn't something crazy. It was enough that I think I came with like $500 or something. She goes, yeah, it's like $250 a bottle or something. And I'm like, fuck it. And I like bought a bottle or some shit. It was like that. And then we had this epic time that was like one of the more in the moment, like just this vicious time. And then you was like, oh shit. If you willing to spend a little extra tell me if I'm wrong. When you noticed that, when did you notice that? What did you notice
that
in that
night?
moment?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if I remember it the exact same way that you're telling me.
How do you
right now.
remember?
It might have been different, but because always one of the biggest draws to bottle service for me is the
Space.
not having to go in the line, being able to sit down because I'm not
The freedom.
exactly out there in the in the.
It was never
on the
female
dance
for
floor.
you. Yeah.
No, it
and
wasn't
I can
females,
attest
it
to that,
wasn't-
y'all.
And it wasn't the dance floor, nothing like that. It was the ease of getting in and the comfortability. I still think that it's a douchey move, like bottle service, if you actually break it down. But
Douchey,
depending,
like, what's douchey
it's
about it?
douchey. Like the thought of spending 20x the cost of a bottle just to look cool. Like if that's the reason you're doing it, which in a lot of cases, I think it's douchey.
Is it to look cool or as a fucking lure for women?
Yeah, if you're
what do you think is the bigger for most people's thoughts? If you had to make them, what would you think?
Oh, probably to look cool to lure women, like, or whatever.
So you think they just go equally together?
Ultimately, it's probably for women. However, like that's kind of discrediting their intelligence, and like they just.
But wait, hold on. Before you say that, balling is definitely a thing that attracts. Might not be the right women, but women in general.
Sure,
that's a thing that really happens.
Sure, but I'm saying that like it's known that in Vegas, like that non-ballers pretend to ball. So once they catch that, they just take advantage. I'm just saying. I've seen how many times have we seen the bottle rats?
Yeah,
the bottle rats. Yeah, they're professionals.
Those bottle rats are no joke, and they come out quick.
They're pros.
Yeah.
They come in.
Yeah, they know.
They suck down that fucking alcohol.
Shout out to the bottle rats.
Holla at your bottle rats.
I know you wear all black dress. They
might actually work for the club. The more I'm thinking about it.
Oh,
to
for
suck
sure.
down that bottle so that you got to get another one.
It makes sense. Like you say, so you get free entry to the hottest club. You get drinks on deck because we're going to get you in the club.
Pouring it in the fucking ground.
I'll say this. Do you remember when we went to, I want to say it's Tiesto night, and then there was a line of just women that got in first?
Oh, yeah.
So we walk up to this club, one of our limitless trips. Maybe we can go into that. Maybe we don't. So we go to the club, and we all get there as our little group. But there's a line into the club. You have 3 lines. One's regular admission. 2 is like if you get VIP, if you talk to somebody. And then 3 was literally women only.
Yep.
And it was like, if you had to put a number, how many women were in that line?
Hundreds, yeah. And then they let them in first, and then they start letting the tables in.
And let the tables in, right? So then you're like, oh shit!
It's just cluttered with women, and then you get taken to your table. It's wide open, and then it's open season. That's what they do, and it's smart. But I'm telling you, it's a douchey move if that's your intent. Because let's be real, how has that worked out?
Well, no, is it douchey or is it just that's where you're at, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know. So when you say douchey, what do you mean by the word douchey?
I guess I'm thinking that you're thinking that you're gonna outsmart a woman into thinking that you're a baller, so that she comes and falls in love with you or whatever or gives you whatever it is that you see.
I think that means that you're undermining what the women might do. What if the women know, I know these niggas are just in town for Vegas and I'm trying to drink for free. I'm trying to hang out in the fucking at the table. And what if I know these niggas is broke, but they spending money this weekend, we finna turn up.
Oh, and
what if the arrangement is kind of equal?
That's not because
it's definitely equal.
I'm saying what you just said with the women just wanting to come hang out with people who are trying to party or whatever. The dudes are trying to get something out of it. If they're not getting something out of it, then they're losing.
But that's where like the battle is. No, I think that the guys say, "All right, I'm about to go out here and spend some money," and then the girls say, "Oh," and then it's their call to say, "Are these niggas spending money?" Like, and then they have to decide, "Am I about to fuck this motherfucker or not?" And I think that's the battle of.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, you've been out the game forever.
Yeah, I've been out the game
forever.
Like
you've been with like 2 people in your life.
Yeah. 2001.
That was like 40 years ago.
2001. Yeah, I've been out the game.
I ain't gonna lie, Steve. I ain't gonna lie. When all this crazy limitless shit was going down, I obviously loved you already, but I didn't understand how fucking disciplined and where your mind is just completely different. I believe you are a sociopath. I believe that in my heart. I love you for it because it's taught me lessons in the long run. Now, you've always had this like I'm gonna do me thing more than most people I've ever met. I don't even know if you knew you had it until I started talking about it, and then you might be noticing it now. Am I wrong in thinking that? Like you've been one of the most I'm gonna do me niggas that I've ever met.
To me, it feels natural because like who else am I gonna do? Like so,
I'm telling you that's not a thing.
I'm not. Well, I'm saying, but I guess I don't relate in that situation. Like, but I've been
the fact that he's saying that y'all proves my point. He can't even relate to somebody who would not do you
I'm
at all.
I'm saying I've been defiant since I was young, and again, it's a blessing and a curse. I guess it gets you in a lot of fucking trouble.
It does
because when you don't fucking give a fuck and you're gonna do what you want to do, and you're young and dumb and immature, it leads you to some real fucked up shit. So,
But wouldn't you? Let me ask you this, and I already know the answer, but just for the people listening, wouldn't you rather go through shit being yourself than to not go through shit and not be yourself?
of course.
I'm almost rather die and be me than not be me and die.
Yeah. No, I could not agree more.
And don't I always say this about, so I talk to women, and it is what it is. I'm open about my whole life now. I say what I want when I want to do it, and I do believe sometimes that can deter me from certain women, right?
Sure.
Whereas some of my friends, some of my close friends, shout out to some of my close friends, they don't understand, or they say they understand, but they say, you know what, sometimes you just got to say what you got to say to get the job done. Meaning, I'm going to say what I got to say to fuck.
And I think that there are points in life where everyone probably faces that decision that needs to be made, whether it be
100%.
at a job or business where you got, like, unfortunately, I mean, there's a few people who are able to get through their entire life probably by just doing whatever the fuck they want, whenever the fuck they want. But for the most part, you have to make some concessions like that.
You do have to make some concessions, but I do believe the people who break through that the most while still being intelligent of social shit,
yeah,
you have to. There's a line that you have to be willing to cross more often than you think is.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I'm like, oh, you know what? And like, I'm gonna say it right now again. I do not hate Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, I am not a voter, and I will not vote because I think it's all bullshit personally. But if I was to vote, I'm telling you right now, I'm voting Trump 2020 over Biden personally. And I'm a black man. Supposedly grew up Democrat because that's black Democrat. That's fucked up. You hear that? Black people Democrat. That's fucked up that I said that. But I felt like I had to think that way. It was like I was sheep. Black people. I just grew up. Blacks are Democrats. I was that blinded at one point. Just whoever Democrat is, Mitt Romney, fuck him. Who was a nigga? George, fuck him. And not even listening. Didn't even listen to what shit was. Just nope. I know I'm not supposed to because I'm black and fuck that and I'm poor. So here's what helped me change that philosophy was when I realized that motherfuckers, when you get to a certain level of anything, you stop caring about the shit that they like the people beneath that think about.
Oh yeah.
And money's like probably the biggest. Anybody who's about paper, more times than not, they don't give a fuck about your race or any of that shit. They give a fuck about how can you help me or what are you going to do? You making paper or, you know what I'm saying? Even if, like, for instance, I think you fuck with me as a person who makes more paper than I do. I would argue there's longevity and shit like that, but you do like the fact that and tell me if I'm wrong, that you appreciate that I'm striving.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you don't have to have gotten there yet. You just have to be trying to get somewhere, you know?
Right. So I think
so many people just get content and don't want to move. They get comfortable, and
isn't that the worst shit ever?
it's bad. Yeah.
You're not even trying? And I get it. Shit's hard, man. Life is treacherous. And you know, you and I can argue this too. I know I'm like circled by 8%.
I don't even know where we're at right now.
But this is a good point, though. Having children, it's a great topic. Having children, is it selfish? Is it not?
I mean, you got to break that down, I guess, a little bit.
I know, it's a great question. I think it's a very interesting question.
I know I heard you guys talking about that.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I brought a kid into the world.
Intentionally.
Intentionally.
First time, too.
Hey.
Your soldiers is marching.
Shout out to my semen.
Hey, STEVE KARL got semen on deck.
So,
that's fucked up.
I don't know. I guess I understand that life is
wait.
hard.
She could be fertile, too. It could be just her shit just gripping. Her shit got grip.
Could be.
Okay, my fault.
Could be both.
My fault.
So, I brought him into the world. I'm happy with life. I know it's a fucked up place, but I mean, if you gave me a choice, do I want to be here or do I not want to be here? Is a no-brainer in my opinion.
If it comes down to those two choices, because you and I have had conversations where this shit can be tough.
Well, if your fucking crazy conspiracy theory shit plays out the way that you say it.
Nah, nigga.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, so you're right. My shit. But you can't tell me you haven't been like, yeah, man, this is a little tough right now. It's just
mean, it's tough, but
like
ask this question fresh off me losing someone close to me, or you know what I mean? Like it kind of, as of right now, life's pretty good. You know, even though it's fucked up, and
I think it's
some people could say it's bad, but I mean, I guess I would argue that
you're an optimistic person, though.
Yeah, but also just, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna look back on this time where my kid is 6 years old. And
you get to actually spend time.
I get to spend unlimited amounts of time with them over the last month and a half, and doing his schoolwork with them and all that kind of shit. And it's cool. And I'm normally the hustle and bustle and the grind of life and all the distractions. It's kind of weird just being able to look at it from a little bubble where it's like there's nothing you're supposed to be doing. There's nothing you can be doing. And while I don't even agree that that's necessarily true, it's easy to get lazy with that attitude and kind of accept the fact that like this is my whatever. This isn't your vacation. This isn't.
And because the other side accepts it too.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, just to answer your question though, I think that this life shit is challenging but super cool, and so I think that with what me and my wife can bring to our child's life, I think that he's going to have a cool opportunity to carve out his own. So I would say, no, it's not selfish.
By definition, it's selfish because you personally wanted a child who did not have a choice to be here.
Okay.
So personally, that by definition,
I can't argue
I'm just being argumentative. By definition, it is selfish. You agree with that statement?
Yes, but yes, of course.
Okay, by definition. Now, what you're saying is it really that bad? Because where you're at and you think optimistically, right?
Sure.
And I would argue I think optimistically too. Would you agree with this statement in general?
Yeah.
But in this situation, I don't, which is super weird. Maybe because, and I'm brainstorming, I have no idea what the answer is. I didn't go to school for this. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know nothing. I just read. I don't even read. I watch and look at a lot of shit. I definitely haven't read shit in a long time. Like a book.
But let me ask you this. Like if I was to, let's say your car blew up, burned overnight or whatever.
Am I in it?
Nah, it's just outside in the parking lot, and you needed to get to work and all that shit. And I hear, Silla's car is fucked up, and he can't get to work. So I decide to come. I buy you a car. I bring it to you, and I'm like, hey, man, you've been a great friend. Here's a car so you can get to work and all that. Like, are you suggesting that it's selfish of me to give you this car because now you got to pay insurance and like whatever?
Great point.
Like fuck you.
I mean, it is selfish though.
Yeah, but my assumption is that I'm clutching you. And
okay, good. First of all, great logic. Can't argue the logic. But by definition, it is selfish.
Well, fuck.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Did you not decide to do something that you wanted to do? Yes or no?
Hey, Google. Is bringing a kid into the world selfish?
My apologies. I don't understand.
Yeah, because the question's too fucked up. I don't blame Google.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nigga, I ain't asked that dumb shit. Here's my point. Have you asked to be here ever in your life? Did you choose to be alive? Have you ever in this life, no matter what the situation, thought, I don't know if I can go forward?
Like
in life, be honest. Like whatever that means to you. Have you ever suggested in your heart, this is tough. I don't know if I can do this. And then you figure it out in 30 seconds, baby. You ever had that point in your life at one time, no matter what, no matter if you got pulled over, no matter if a girlfriend broke your heart, where you're like, you know what, and I talked about this in like episode 3 or 4. Not to mention suicide. And I know we personally dealt with it. You personally have dealt with it more. And we know how people who commit suicide think. And our argument is they are the most selfish people of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But
I don't think I've ever had that thought.
You've never thought.
I thought this shit's hard, but I'm a problem solver. I'll figure it out. I'm not going to fucking, like, what are you going to do? Shit's hard. Okay, how do I figure it out?
Maybe help me out, because I've heard you, maybe it was with anticipation if a situation was where it was.
The scenario I think that you're referring to is you've been insinuating that you believed in.
There's a couple times I heard you say it.
There's I'll explain it.
Right.
You were painting a picture of a world that we live in where nothing
hypothetically
is real. Yeah, like where nothing that we see is real. It's essentially a simulation, and that powers above us, the top 3 families in the world, are controlling everything.
Touché.
And we essentially have no purpose in this world because anything that we want, everything that we think that we know is not real. The media, of course, we all know the media is fucking. We know that. We know the media. We know the media is a fraud. Right. But I'm saying the way you've explained things, like that you can trust no one. You can't trust doctors. You can't trust your
but I think you're misleading. I can't necessarily trust the niggas who say to not trust them.
You can't trust nobody. So in a world where I can trust no one, and that
but not with the malicious intent, like fuck everybody. It's like it's more like, how do I know who to trust?
No, but you're getting into like people vaccinating you with like chips to monitor.
That's
this.
just about to happen.
Okay, so
It's a thing.
if it's that deep, and then all the people are fucking kids, and that might be I might have to think about that. I might have to think about that. If that's what the world that's really going on behind the scenes, and I don't see it.
What about so what about the simulation theory? What if that was a thing? We talked about this. What's the word what's the word when you talked about something a lot? Nauseum.
Okay. We talk about that ad nauseum. Yes,
We talked about that at nauseum.
I don't think I'd be a big fan of that either. I guess,
But you would still figure it out.
maybe.
What if he could figure it out? What if that same situation is real, but you can still?
For some reason, the temptation for me is if I find out that everything's fucking crazy, I just want to go fucking shooting everybody. I don't know what it is.
You've always had that about you.
Like I don't know, like
You're a rebel.
To me, if it's all rigged and this isn't real, then we gotta go fight this out.
First of all, it ain't real.
Then let's fight it out.
Are you willing to fight it out? Are you willing to make moves? You talking boss
That's the
moves.
problem when you got a family, man. The family,
I know, nigga.
it makes it so much harder.
Hey,
to fucking
that's why
fight wars.
That's why I pull out. My pull out game's strong because I don't want to have to. If I want to fight, I want to fight.
Yeah. You got to worry about the ramifications because
You're a man too. And at the end of the day, answer this question: as a man who has a wife who you love and a child who you fucking love, you're gonna do what you got to do.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I think it would even come to the fact that I'm just saying something ridiculous to prove the point. If Chris Campbell Scylla started going fucking ape shit towards Cash and Courtney, you'd have to put me down.
I mean, I had to.
That's what I'm saying. And that's just like, that's innately in you.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it like being like when you birthed it, and again, I don't know this, so you'll be able to help me out with more. It almost feels like you can't even help that thought.
No,
even if you decided not
it's
to.
a very strange. I know it's cliche and a lot of people say it, but it's like you could never fathom. And I remember, I'll be honest with you, I'm weird about it. Like as we were going through the process,
Having a little one?
Yeah, I was not in love in the way that I could tell that Courtney was, like with the unborn child, because I haven't met this motherfucker yet. Like I don't know you. Like I know I'm supposed to fuck with you, but like
right.
I don't know. For some reason, like I didn't have that super connection yet, and then the second that they're born, it was like
you felt like as soon as you saw,
I cried, bro. Like I was instantly in love with this person, and it's a weird feeling to like.
and you couldn't help that thought.
I couldn't
just
control it.
happened,
It just
just-
happened naturally. But it's like, it's the weirdest thing because I would have bet everything in my life that it's gonna take time for me to fuck with you. Just because, how could you just naturally love something? It just sounds so fucking bullshit to me.
Right.
Like you don't know this thing. It could be
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
It could grow up, and it still might.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have to reassess, I guess. But you know, like it's crazy. Like I always talk to them about my dog situation, like back in the day. So I had
You talking about Rocky?
yeah, but like
fuck with
I
Rocky.
had
What was
older-
Rocky? Purebred boxer.
Boxer, yeah. Rocky and I had Layla. And before that I had other dogs, but those were my two, like when I moved out, dogs or whatever. And I got Rocky. He's a piece of shit.
Nah,
I loved
he,
him.
yeah,
No, I
he
loved
was a
him.
great dog.
But he's a piece of shit. He
He would do dumb shit.
he was acting out constantly, fucking the whole house up.
I think when he got older, he was pretty chill. Just like
Like-
and Layla was even chiller, right? I feel like
Yeah.
Layla was okay.
Yeah, but anyway.
Shout out to your dog.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out
miss
to your
those.
dog.
Yeah,
little
Rest in
motherfuckers.
peace.
But you got a new dog.
Yeah, I do got a new
How
dog.
you it's been a while since how the little motherfucker do it.
Good.
Like you fuck with it?
Yeah.
Nah, there's a hesitation.
Because you're gonna see when I finish this story, you're gonna understand where I'm going with
My
this.
fault.
But I'm like loyal in a way that like when the first one comes along, I struggle to share my love, which is kind of why I think that we have chosen, at least to this point, and it seems like that's gonna be the course that we're gonna go, is to only have one kid. Is that I don't know that I could fuck with the next one the way that I fucked the first one. Like I had Rocky, they didn't get that love. I don't know what to tell you. She did not get that love. And that's where I feel so much towards this one individual
Really?
that I don't want to share that with
Now, do
nobody.
you think that could change just naturally
I
when
don't
you
know.
have another?
I don't know, but I doubt it because it didn't change. With
So
Layla.
you're kind of like, let's just. I know you're not. Hypothetically speaking, you're a Golden State fan,
yeah,
and then KD came. You fuck with it, but you can go, nigga.
yeah.
Is that how you feel?
Oh yeah.
Is that how you think that you would feel?
Probably.
Like, I fuck with you here. I fuck with you. Yeah, all right, everything's cool. But if you start acting up, nigga, well, nigga, you wasn't here.
Yep.
So you're essentially Draymond Green.
That's fucked up. That's super fucked up.
Tell me, is the analogy not at least decent in the situation?
I actually saw something that was funny about Draymond Green today. It was
he got the blackest name of all time. What's a more black name than Draymond Green?
Don't get me even started on that, man.
I know you hate him, right? You hate everything Warriors?
I strongly dislike it. I hate,
You hate Steve Kerr?
No, I don't think I hate Steve Kerr. I think
Klay Thompson.
he's cool. I think Klay's cool.
Wait, I ain't gonna even say the one I know. Andre Iguodala.
No, I don't like.
All right, you hate Iguodala?
I just think he's overrated. Like,
all right, I'm about to throw you Sean Livingston.
I don't know. Is he still on the
No,
team?
he's probably not. But when I say, to me, he's Warriors, right?
No, I don't really like him either.
So is it an active I don't like, or is it just now that I'm thinking about it, I don't like?
No, I actively don't like him.
Why?
I don't know.
Why you hate Sean Livingston? Has he ever helped you in the bed or something?
Probably. Most of them have, yeah.
Okay.
But
I know. Let me ask you this: how do you feel? Before I say the one, how do you feel about KD ultimately?
I actually fuck with KD.
Really?
I do. I think he's a good player. I think
is he a soft ass bitch ass nigga?
I think he is, but he the kind of the way that he went about and fucked up that dynasty a little bit by just having his shit attitude. I don't know, something about that I respected. But
so did you watch the Jordan shit the other day?
Yep.
Was Scottie Pippen part of that? I know a lot that the narrative is painted that Krause was.
Are you saying that Pippen made Jordan? I've been saying that forever.
No, yeah. So have I. First of all, first of all, anybody who's listening right now, he is my brother, and he believes. Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT?
That's LeBron James.
And listen, and I'll be honest. The one thing I've always said about you is he sees it from such an he sees things from an objective perspective. He can be like, well, no, this is what it is. Because I still come with too much emotion sometimes.
The only argument that we're not going to get deep into this shit because it goes
because we can't.
It goes too deep. But the only argument that I've heard that I guess I could give some sort of an argument to is that they say that you need to compare a player to the players in his era, and that's how you measure them. So if I don't do that because I think that everything gets better,
I've never heard that in my life.
Oh yeah,
I feel like niggas want to say Jordan versus LeBron.
Well, they do, but they say Jordan was X better than the next best class of player in his era, because then you have to factor in, modern science and all the different tools that they have at their disposal that they didn't have, that they have nowadays. So that's what people say. So but I'm watching this fucking documentary and I'm like, look at these people that he's
going against.
These little fucking white.
He was a
green
freak.
Beans.
He was a freak compared to the rest of them.
He was closer to the level of today, but even still, he was a skinny little bitch. He doesn't hold up in today's
but
game.
athletic. He was more of an athlete than everyone on the court.
By far.
Isn't LeBron also by far?
So the only people that I'll actually take their opinions on, they're the ones that are dead set on it. I'm not saying, I will tell you right now, LeBron James, if you could somehow magically make them both in their primes play each other, LeBron James would eat him alive.
He's just too big.
But he's fucking so far ahead of his own, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron versus, there's a bunch of players that are beneath him, but not by a fucking ton. There was no one even within light years of
when Jordan in his heyday, no one was even remotely close.
Not even close. Nobody.
And you're saying LeBron, who is remotely close to him?
I mean, you could argue a bunch of guys. KD
tonight or in his career? In his career, maybe
they're not close.
Kobe.
They're not in the same conversation, but they're close enough. The gap is not.
So name a name. Name one name of
LeBron's a 10. Put KD at a 8. And I would argue that in Jordan's era, it was Jordan was a 10, and the next closest was a 4, or 5, compared to him.
So is Elijah Wan a joke compared to Jordan?
I mean, fuck Elijah Wan.
So I see what you said. No, but the point. I don't even know what the fucking point was.
You were asking me about the Warriors. Who do I fuck with? You were building up to ask me about how much I hate fucking Stephen Curry's
And then
Bitch
having
ass.
it having another child. So that was what the point was, is having bringing another
Well, you were
child.
you were asking me if I was KD and how do I feel about him coming to the Warriors.
Because essentially what you're saying is I would not. Even if I had another child, I still fuck with Cash. So
More.
vicious.
I would fuck with him more. I know that,
But you also fuck with KD though. Whereas I feel
don't
like
see that being the same thing. Like I'm talking about a human being or like someone that loved in your.
That's fair. All right. It's a human. All right, fine. But my point is some niggas would look at KD and be like, I fucks with you.
It's the
but
whole
not like I fuck
longevity
with
thing, like with the friends, like you.
So is that ultimately the thing?
That's probably
Time?
what it is. I'm saying you've got more time. We've been through more, and so
And you've been able to calculate how you feel, where the loyalty level you can calculate based on the time versus what you dealt with.
sure. And listen, I'm wrong about this. Like that's not the way it should be. I'm sure most people who have multiple children are like I'm equally able to disperse my love or with animals.
Now,
and
is that
whatever.
something you're just supposed to say, or is that something you think?
I
that
don't
they
know.
think?
I have no idea. I'm saying I would assume that. I mean, I know my mother would never tell me that. Like, oh yeah, no, I love your brother way more because he was around longer and we've been through more. It's
But
stupid.
now let me ask you this: do you think that society says you have to answer that question that way?
Probably.
Let
And my
me
mom is society.
Right. We know your mom's super society.
Yeah.
She's Mrs.
Team society.
She's Mrs. Thompson for sure.
Oh yeah.
Now let me tell you this story. You remember Larry? I think I told you this.
Yeah.
Remember Larry?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're doing mushrooms on this couch.
Okay.
The one you're looking at, the black couch with all the holes in it. We're on mushrooms, so like you ain't got no choice but to let it out. Whatever you feel, you about to let out. That's what that shit is. And I'll never forget this. Again, you can't lie when you're on a psychedelic. You cannot lie. You have no choice. Even if you can't sugarcoat it, it's gonna come out. He said, Chris, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I know what you're supposed to say. I know what I'm supposed to feel. Most people know that. As a matter of fact, you're the only person who might know what I'm saying right now. He said this. We're saying it. He goes, kind of don't wish I had kids. He was so serious, bro. And he said it with such like, I'm giving you some information that I know I shouldn't be saying. And I'm going to say it because he trusts me in that moment, right? We're having this connection of just truth.
I
truth.
respect the fuck out of it. I just feel bad for him that's where he's at. Yeah.
So you think that maybe he just has a chemical imbalance, maybe?
Or just shitty kids. I don't know. Like I have no idea what the reason is.
Ain't
But
that
I'd say
fucked
that
up?
sucks. Yeah, like it sucks that he's in that position, but it's dope that he, I guess, acknowledges it and hopefully he can
Because
work
he
through that.
definitely was like, I mean, I'm gonna do it. You got just like me in this quarantine. I really don't fuck with it, but I'm doing it. Like I'm at the I don't go out all day just out there kicking like how they portray all the blacks. Like the blacks is out here supposedly. Every time I look on Facebook, blacks just parties. They don't give a fuck. Niggas dying, turn up. The niggas still stripping.
I'll tell you right. I was in the city today, and
Oh,
the,
yeah, you
and the
think of
blacks
it.
were
The blacks
taking
out.
it serious. No, they were taking it serious. Every one of them was wearing
Niggas in the
mask.
crib.
They were.
Did you go to the hood though?
hood? I don't know if it's a hood.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know. I don't know where the hood's at, but I was on the south side. Shout out to Robert's place. He's on Wabash. I don't know.
He lives in the hood.
I don't know if it's a hood, but there was an African
How
American
far are you
population.
from African American? How far was he from 79th?
I have no idea.
Because whenever I hear the word 79th, I think, or the wild hundreds, that's even worse. I feel like the bigger the number, the more hood it is. That's how I feel like.
I can honestly tell you though, I saw probably a dozen neighbors, and they were all black.
So he living, but were they like, you know niggas? Was they cool?
Yeah,
or they was like, hey, DD, fuck, nigga.
No,
Hey,
they were
hey,
no,
hey,
they were
hey, Pooh guy. Hey, Pooh guy.
no, they were all cool, but it was. I'm just saying that they were all wearing their masks. They were staying in the house.
Did you feel uncomfortable
No,
wearing them? Did you have a mask on?
no.
I don't fuck with mask.
I'll wear them if I'm getting into tight quarters, but I was like outdoors, like in a front lawn. I was.
What, like, how tight are the quarters?
I mean, I haven't been
store?
going many places, but if I go to like a store, I'll wear it. Yeah.
I raw dog.
Hey.
God, I don't believe it, man. No, let me face that. I believe it, but it's like, man,
You're just a piece of shit.
no.
Hey.
Okay.
Shout out to Chris is a piece of shit.
All right. Real talk.
Let's get there.
Am I a piece of shit?
For what you just said.
No. In
You
life.
talked
In
about-
life.
no.
In life. Am I a piece of
No,
shit?
you're not a piece of shit in life. But in this scenario, you're a piece of shit. You said on the last podcast, one of the questions you were asking Michael Jack.
Oh, look at you! Hey,
Yeah,
shout
Michael
out
Jack, Michael Jack.
Matt. First
Matt
of all,
Michael
Matt.
Jack. Mike.
No, Matt Michael Jack.
Matt
He said
Michael
Mike,
Jack.
Mike
Hey, there's a lot
Michael
going
Jack.
on. Whatever.
Matt Michael Jack. Mike Michael Jack. I
No.
like that.
Matt McMichael Jack. You asked him. You were kind of setting up the question about why do you wear a mask, and
He don't want to get other niggas sick.
Right. So if you don't care about getting sick, that's one thing. That's cool. That's no problem. Why don't you give up? Like, you can't even just respect the people who do give a fuck and just cover your fucking mouth?
Yeah, but I also know what the fuck to do when you're like, listen,
You're making
I ain't about to cough on the fucking oranges. I ain't coughing on the oranges. If I got to cough, I'm going to do what you got to do like you've been taught since I was 6. You cough and you and then you wash it. Like, I'm doing that shit. And I'm also staying my ass in the house 99% of the day. But if I go to Jewel for 30 seconds, fuck that mask, man. And then when I get in the car, I use a little, and I do that. But if I was coughing or something, if I had like a real thing, I would stay my ass in the house. How am I an asshole?
Just wear the mask to respect the people.
So am I reverse they? Is this a
Yeah,
reverse
been-
they
you've
moment?
been
Wait, can we talk
that's
about
your whole life.
Hey, can we just you hear that, right?
Damn, I think I hit it.
Is it you?
I hit it. Yeah, we're good.
But this is what we talked about. You said you heard that. We heard whatever that was. It would happen again. Anyway,
Then it's definitely a power thing because I hit it.
it's a power situation. Well, stop being squirrely, nigga. Let's sit your
Hey,
ass still.
Get me wound up. My hands on
Yeah, why you so mad? No. We talking about
mask. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, okay. Me being a piece in the mask. So are you saying I should wear the mask? Not, you know what? And I actually know the answer to this question because it was on the Rogan podcast. He talked about it. People have a misconception of if I'm wearing a mask, it's to keep you away from me, where the idea of the mask should be me keeping away from you.
Right. So you're just saying, all right.
No. The question was reverse they. My fault. You always call me reverse they. What do you mean by that? I've tried to describe it. I want it in your words because you're the one who made it.
Try and think of a way to explain it. Yeah, it's
So what is they? Let's do that. And how did they start? DJ Khaled.
Yeah, it's definitely DJ Khaled, and it's basically being, I don't want to say a troll, but more of a hater. Like I'm trying to think of a good example of something that would be
like
that
somebody
they
who would keep
say.
you down, right?
Yeah, someone that would tell you that
Like, I'm about to go in my own business, and then somebody would go, no,
like,
don't
you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, you're not.
Hey, what about this?
Yeah, so that would
That's
be they. Yeah, that would be they.
How am I reverse that?
I actually don't think it makes sense what I say.
But I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean. Yeah. So you take like a troll stance, like, but it's like
I'm contrarian of the contrarian.
yeah. You take like a positive contrarian stance on when you shouldn't be. You just are always gonna take the opposite side.
And this is very clear cut, easily. To you, it's by far I'm reverse day for sure.
Not in all cases. Like, I think you do think things through. And
Do you think that I do it on purpose, or do you think this is kind of who I am?
I think it's in you. Like, I think that it's who you, I think that like the LeBron Jordan thing is set up well for you. Like, in that, like, the majority of the population is going to go lean one way and you're going to pull back the other way, but you don't do it in like super obvious situations.
And I'm not trying to say fuck you. Like, I'm just like, nah, this is what I feel, and I'm gonna ride with it. But it does naturally seems
like a good example of that is that woman from that podcast the other day that you talked about. That her whole life is essentially that, where she does like, she takes the like awkward side of it. I can't remember what her name was.
I had
The woman with the Kaepernick. She was like anti-Kaepernick, and she was from DC and talking shit about.
Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Candace Owens.
Yeah. She's like a perfect example of that, where she.
But I feel like I'm not her though. You think I'm her?
You fuck with her pretty hard. Think about it.
Well, what was the reason I told you I fucked with her?
Yeah.
Be honest. What did I say?
You said she's beautiful.
I said she looks good and she's intelligent as shit. That was what I said. But I like the main reason I liked her is she's intelligent, she's beautiful as shit. But ultimately, I know how hard it is to say what she says as a black woman, and then to know that you're gonna get ridiculed by anybody who's black, and then even white people nowadays, because it's kind of like being pro-black is the thing. Like, I think it's because it's like racism is so not a thing that it's almost a thing to go against racism.
Okay.
So I feel like that's almost a stance. Like, it's almost like a way, like if you're not black, it's almost like I'm going to stand up for this because, one, I'm not racist, but I know I should stand up for it and make a thing to prove it. That's how much I think racism is not a thing. So that's the point that I make, if that makes any sense. But the reason why I like her is being a black conservative representative of the Republicans is not a popular opinion amongst black people.
It's also peacocking, like, essentially, which is something that you're fond of.
Yeah, given the right situation.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
that proves your point. Right.
So I'm saying that.
Can we explain? Because in case people don't know what peacocking means, what do you think it means?
Peacocking would be like an incident where you in New York City wore your MAGA hat to every fucking bar that we went to, and you got the reaction that you wanted. I mean,
I got some bad reactions though.
Of course, that's what I mean. You got good.
You
got bad.
You think I wanted bad reactions? You think I desired? That's a good point.
Yeah, I think you might have. I think you did want bad reactions. Yeah, I think that you. I mean, I think you were accepting of the good ones too. I mean, I think you were like
the hat on saying I want somebody to say.
You wanted reactions, whether good or bad. You just wanted.
But it's not necessarily because my intent is harmful.
No, but
which makes me reverse they.
But you grabbed something that you knew would be controversial, so you could get this attention, like, and you wouldn't get it if you didn't do. Yeah, that's peacocking. That's
or like
that's
pulling up in a
Lamborghini
is kind of peacocking.
Yeah, that would
especially
be
if you went and rented one. If you rented one for that, that's peacocking, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's just standing out, and because like what happens with an actual peacock, the bird. So when it's trying to like show what it's popping, it brings out its feathers, and it's like everyone. You ever seen a peacock?
Yeah, it just draws your attention.
Everyone's looking.
Yeah,
it kind of vicious because when a peacock does his thing with the fucking wings, it's a thing.
Yeah, it's like damn.
Anybody in the area, right? And imagine the other fucking animals, like the other ones, like oh shit. The reverse they thing, I think that I am based on our years of talking and you calling me that, and I can understand when you're saying it. I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing.
I do think it is.
Being they is bad.
I think sometimes you take the defense of people who need defense. Like, so, you know what I mean? Like, if
even back in the day,
everyone is one way, you
taught me that lesson, nigga. You taught me that. What'd you tell me gambling? What'd you say? You said, hey, nigga, this is what you got to do. You said that, and then tell me you don't agree with what I'm about to say. You said if the world is going one way, it's a good percentage that it's going to be the other way. That's how Vegas is built.
It's almost everything. That goes with.
Do you agree with that in that essence? So how do you not at least see that it could be some funky shit going on? Literally, this is the epitome of like this whole Corona shit is the epitome of what you just said.
That's true, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with people having theories of that everything is not as you see. I'm okay with that. But when you start throwing out ridiculous, dumb shit that is fucking baseless, that bothers me. Like, so have a fucking point. Don't just start spewing garbage because now you're just as bad as the other side. So tell me something that's real logical, not just piecing together a little. Because again. We go down these conspiracy theory fucking alleys and we bitch about, oh, the news clipped this and the news clipped this. And then we go watch videos that are clipped to say the other side. So what the fuck is the difference? Like, we can go back and forth about this and it gets really difficult about, like, again, what do you believe? If you can't believe this or this or this or this or this, like what is real, what is not real? But yeah, I hear you, and I believe that not everything is exactly as you see it, but
at some point you have to draw a line.
You have to take a stand and make your decisions.
I can't do it.
You can't.
How do you do it so easy?
You're cooped in your fucking house right now. Where are you getting your information for what's going on in the world? Because the internet is not the place, brother.
Yeah, but there's different places to get different information of the same thing on the internet.
I guess.
So at the end of the day, all you can do is take in whatever information you can find and then make your own assessment of it. And when I'm saying how I think, I've listened to both sides. I've listened to the side that's the world fucking comes to the end. We got to close everything down. Everybody is. If we didn't stop, it'd be billions of motherfuckers dead. I get that. Hence, I'm in the crib. So I'm like, yeah, fuck. Clearly, they're closing shit down. That's a thing. Clearly, I'm in the crib. This is like something unheard of. It's unprecedented that I've been in my crib for a week and maybe longer. Right. The odds are longer.
Oh, it's been a lot. It's been.
No, I'm talking about like the first ain't a thing in Illinois.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. Like, don't you think that should be coming out like any day now?
I mean, we were up to like 80 or 90 deaths today or something like that. It went up again. They were thinking it was like going down. Pritzker is, first of all, my particular take is right now. I hate Pritzker, but I think that
is he overweight to you?
Yeah, of course,
I just want to hear you call him a fat
shit. Yeah, fuck him. But the problem is that now it's turned political, entirely political. Like,
so you can see that how it's clearly
there's a big turn right now, and
Trump and him are literally fighting.
Well,
he mentions fucking Pritzker like every day now.
Yeah, because all he does is fucking bitch and cry constantly. And again, I'm not sitting here defending Trump. Trump's been saying some really ridiculous shit as well. They're both everyone's acting like
it's all bullshit.
Total embarrassment. All that I've learned out of this whole thing is that these people have proven to us that we should be the laughing stock of the world.
The government or the media?
Everybody. We are the laughing stock of the world. Our media sucks. Our government sucks. Like they're just all a bunch of clowns that are acting like fucking 2-year-olds.
You think the world thinks that we're all clowns?
Clowns. We're a fucking joke.
Do people still want to come here though?
Maybe to just fucking take our clown money.
So I don't know. The only people come.
They don't respect us. They might want to be here for opportunity.
Right.
We're not respected.
I think that is ultimately what we're known for is opportunity.
Sure.
Coming to America, you can figure it out.
Yeah. But
the fact that we have clowns in the White House right now kind of proves that point.
I think Trump should be commended for this. He has exposed our very insanely broken system,
which he said.
Yes. Okay. Like it's like in the Social Network, that movie, where
the Facebook
Zuckerberg,
movie.
Yeah, where Zuckerberg's like he's in front of the board because he hacked the fucking Harvard website or whatever, and they're busting him, and he's like, I actually think I should be applauded by you guys, and they're like, applauded?
Yeah, like,
do tell.
Fuck
you talking about? He's like, I mean, I identified all of the fucking loopholes in your security systems and blah 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 blah. That's what he's done. He's just shown us how fucking comically broken our system is.
And he said it. He said that. I feel like I've heard him say that. The one thing I was talking about was it was a debate. Him and like 10 other motherfucking Republicans at the time. Mind you, he was a Democrat at one point. He always said it. I think there's a quote of him saying, if I was ever to run for president, I would run for the Republicans because they're fucking idiots. I feel like that's an actual quote.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like real tough. So anyways, he said this. I'll never forget this. And they're like, oh, you know what? He's so different from what everyone else thinks you're supposed to be as a politician. And when you compare him to Obama, he's so, even if you don't fuck with Obama for whatever reason, either you hate blacks or you don't like his policies or whatever your reason is, you cannot deny that he was presidential.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, well, we're going to handle this, and we're thinking about everybody together.
Really that's pretty impressive.
Right? And I feel like that's what he was on. What Trump said at this fucking podium, he goes, look, you guys, this shit's all fucked up, like you just said. I've given, he didn't specifically point them out, but he goes, I've given a couple of these guys money. They're going to listen to me. Even if I don't get elected, they're still going to do things because I've given them. He said this openly, vicious. I feel like that's the most different from anything I've ever heard. I feel like they always answer shit very political. You know what I'm saying? Like politically correct. To be honest, the whole politically correct movement is ridiculous. I kind of want to know you're a piece of shit. I want to know that you're fucking racist. I don't want you around here, nigga. Right? I kind of want to hear that because I don't want the motherfucker smiling in my face who feels that way.
Right.
That's more dangerous.
I agree with that.
You're less dangerous if I know, like, okay. If
he's going to say what he feels, yeah.
So if I come up, I got to be personally, so it's my choice if I want to deal with this or not. You know, I'm personally choosing, yeah, well, let's do this then. But it's my choice.
Sure.
But if you're undercover on that bullshit because of politically correctness, you can really fuck me.
I just can't admit, I can't understand how we have all these great people in the world, and yet our choices are always left with these fucking bogus losers.
And we got them outnumbered by so many. Why do you think people are sheep? It's a great question.
It's easy. It's lazy. It's a fucking lazy attitude. Like
what if people aren't been woken up to the idea of being sheep? Some people don't even realize what that means. You think that?
I find that hard to believe that that's true. I think that my stance is always going to be that that's just the easier way to accept your shortcomings, to accept that you have not achieved what you want to achieve because you've followed the path that has been provided to you. You know, like again, like if you follow that blueprint, you'll never do anything. There's 0% of people that are doing extraordinary things this is very much, I must preface 100%. This by saying it's my opinion,
100%.
that have followed the conservative, like blueprint to
like the societal, at least American societal. You have a fucking wife and a kid, and then you just go to school, and you get a trade, and then you did it like right like that.
the
American
fun in that. I
dream.
just don't understand the
Because
I mean,
what if
who
you
am I,
wanted?
but
What if you wanted to be a fucking fireman? Like real talk. I feel like those things that we decided that we wanted to try when we were younger. You know, like, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And then we end up wanting to do different things. Is that because we didn't want to do those, or is it because we weren't taught to go for that?
probably for chasing the wrong things, like getting caught up
Like
in
staying
the
in
wrong
line.
shit.
I feel like the reason why schools fucked up now. This is actually, it's actually getting a little long, so we'll end it soon. But this is a great question. How do you personally feel about schooling?
This is a very big point of contention in my household. Yeah,
Schooling for little children, right?
I know you need to learn how to read and write and do all that. That is important, and that's something that, while I believe I could provide, I don't have the time given work schedules and all that kind of stuff. So it's necessary to a certain degree, but in my opinion, it's super long, drawn out, way longer than it needs to be. They teach you a lot of shit that isn't necessary.
Like filler.
Again,
Filler
remember,
trash.
I was a piece of shit. I was kicked out of school, and I was kicked out of school because in high school, I didn't believe. I remember seeing the stupid little fucking charts on the wall that had all the little dots on it that explained like algebra, and here are all of the professions that you're going to need that in, and and geometry and all that. And again, on a basic level, I understand that there's a lot of that type of stuff, but you could pick basic level shit up on YouTube now.
Well, I don't know
we're
if
in a
that's true.
different world.
You naturally have a knack for numbers, yes or no? Yes or no?
You always say that. I mean,
so you do not necessarily agree with that or disagree with that?
I don't know how to compare it to someone else. I feel comfortable with numbers,
So if I say what's 13 times 15, could you figure that number faster?
13 times 50 would be 190.
I don't know. Hey Google, what is 13 times 15?
The answer is 195.
Ooh, 195. All right.
What'd you say? 130?
190, I think I said.
Okay, so but even that, I literally won't even try. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So you were a little off,
Yeah.
but you were still within the fucking. So whatever you did, you did it quick. If I gave you a second, you probably
I would
could
have
have got
figured it
there.
out. Yeah. You maybe
So how
you
is-
put like the pressure on me.
So how is that not? You don't know numbers naturally.
I
and
didn't say I didn't know them. I don't know like if they're. I don't know how to compare. Like there's fucking.
Nigga, I'm telling you, I can't do that. You know, if you gave me numbers, you probably not the thing to do for me. Do you agree with that
Yeah,
statement?
but that just means I'm different than you. That doesn't mean I'm
No,
different
no,
than the
I
rest of the
say
world.
Most there's some niggas who like numbers and some niggas who don't.
I also got the question wrong.
Touche.
It's pretty fucking
That's a good
basic
point.
ass thing too.
That's a good point. But my point is, you within 5 fucking, I wouldn't even been close to that as fast as you thought. So
Yeah,
whatever you did to break it down in your head,
Sure.
you did it quickly and you knew how to get there quick. However you broke it down in your head, there was 2 15s and a
Yeah,
13.
I should have just taken a second longer and I've been fine. But still,
100% you would have figured it out. And I can't get there, Steve. You know I can't get there. So kind of off topic, but on the same topic. I love saying that.
yeah.
What does it mean to you to have an entrepreneurial mindset? What does that mean to you? Would you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means I want to work for myself. I want the freedom, and I want to create something. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything in particular. It means if I try something, say I want to go flip houses or something, and I'm gonna attack that. I'm gonna try it out. If it doesn't work out, I'm gonna move on to the next idea. I'm just my brain's constantly cycling, trying to find something that I could do that meets the ability to make money, to provide me freedoms, and to enjoy myself. Like
But would you say that what gives you ultimate freedom? What is the ultimate cause to give you freedom?
time? But time is a big one.
No, what gives you time?
Money. Is that
Right.
what you're saying?
What is money?
Yeah.
Numbers. That's my point. We can call it different things, but at the end of the day, money is a number. It's an arbitrary number that we all decided that this bill means this. It's arbitrary, but we all kind of in society say this is what it means, right?
Yeah.
You get money. But ultimately that just comes down to numbers. So I don't want to sit and say just as money hungry asshole. No, you get numbers. Would you say you're more money hungry or more money understanding? That's a great question. I'm proud of myself for that. It's such a ridiculous question.
I don't even think I understand what the question means.
I'm going to say it again. Are you more money hungry or understanding of numbers?
I'm actually really bothered by that question. I guess I'm going to go money hungry because I don't even know what the other one means.
That's how you know.
I don't even consider myself money hungry, but I also don't.
Wait, if somebody told me, yeah, your nigga Steve's money hungry, that's how I would answer. Like, nah, nigga, he just understands numbers better.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Hey, well, guess what, nigga? Where would you say we're at right now? You about to be shocked.
I would guess like
how long you think this went?
hour 20.
Hour 23, people. Look at this now. He knows numbers. It just proved my point. He just understood the number. 123, that's pretty vicious. You're the closest one I've ever done that. By far. It's not even close. Other niggas like, nah, it's 10 minutes. But you also have that data, right? You can tell when the temperature's down, which is also a fucking
that's
number.
Actually, that's my best skill in the world, people.
Wait, so,
I could tell you a temperature based on either feel on someone's. I'm
so
guaranteed
you
within
can,
1 degree.
Wait. So if we're just like, all right, Steve, walk into this building, and I'm sitting here. I've been sitting here for an hour, so obviously my temperature is of the. You can come to my head, touch it, and know what.
Yeah, I'll get you within a degree. It's just,
of me or the building.
Both. You tell me.
You know my temperature on deck. Like
I can feel your temperature. Yeah, yeah. I don't need. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
And you can feel the heat, or the temperature for sure in the room. You can feel that.
And I can only confirm that I've only experimented this in my house and with my family. So maybe I just have everyone dialed in and my particular vibe. You know, like I don't know, but I will say it. It's
you are
a
social.
toasty
You're
in here, but I got
narcissistic.
these big fucking lights on me right now, so I don't know if that's like creating a little bit of heat.
But you don't. So first of all, you're natural. I know you dealing with like because you never dived into what I'm doing nearly as much as I am. You've done podcast shit, but you haven't dived into like being on camera and mics and lights. That's never been your thing.
No.
First of all, you're natural. you're me. You're just the white version, the Mexican version of me.
Cuban.
First of all,
shout out to my Cuban family.
Shout out to the Cuban. So, but what I'm telling you right now, when you see these lights, does it come off like, yeah, I can figure this out? Yeah, whatever. Could you easily do? I'm not saying I'm about to ask you nothing. Don't worry about that. Could you do this? Was this hard for you to do?
No.
It came pretty naturally, right?
Yeah, we're just having a conversation.
That's all it is. That's all this shit is.
Every day.
Every day. And you and I do it easily. We've done it for what? Almost weekly for how many years? I know there's been little pieces, but at the end of the day, it's been almost weekly.
Probably like almost 20 years.
Our Sundays have been a thing. I know some people are weird about our Sundays, aren't they? Some people don't get it.
Fuck those people.
How do you not get it? Nigga, the rest of you niggas is huff. He ain't. What do you mean you don't get it? Everybody listening, I love y'all. But you ain't never not been with, unless I just met you like last weekend. That's not fair. But if I've known you for as long as I've known it, nigga, you did something that made me think, even if I fuck with you, because I'm a great guy. I'm a great fucking person.
You can be a piece of shit too. Not to me. But
yeah, because I
can't speak on
Yeah,
me.
you can never say that about you. I ain't never been a piece of shit to you ever.
No,
not even one time.
I'm not suggesting that.
But you have seen me be a
there
piece
are
of
some
shit.
people that they might not agree with you.
And I know. And you've seen that. You've felt like, yeah, he's probably a little vicious towards you.
Yeah, of course.
But you never understood. Did you not understand where I was coming from every time? There was times where you said, Silla's out here and let me holler at him.
I mean, I'm not saying you're abnormal.
No. Don't sugarcoat.
You punching people like I'm.
Sometimes nigga need to get punched. You know that more than anybody. Sometimes you gotta get punched. I ain't punched a nigga in years. Last time I punched a nigga, they punched me first. Remember that? Mark ass. The nigga. Anyway. All right, nigga. Hey. So we'll talk about that on it. And as always, Caresnone.
Yeah.